Good morning everyone. Today I am going to discuss a topic which is of interest to I think everyone. The molecular classification of breast carcinoma and prognostic and diagnostic markers. So on the base of gene profiling, which was done on around 7,000 to 8,000 breast cases, they found out on base of gene profiling 5 categories basically. First one is luminal A, luminal B, HER2 new enriched, basal like breast carcinoma, Claudin low, and there was another subcategory which was like normal breast like, which I am going to discuss later. So starting with luminal A and luminal B. Mind you, this was based on gene profiling, but we are going to use some ISC markers which can be used in our setting to differentiate between luminal A and luminal B. So coming to a definition of luminal A, they are ER positive, ER always positive, BR plus or minus, and HER2 new negative. And to compare luminal B, they are ER positive, BR plus or minus, and HER2 new plus or minus. So the main difference is HER2 new is always negative, can be plus or minus in luminal B. So how will you differentiate between these two categories? First, ER reporting. Just to tell you that 1% of tumor cells should show nuclear positivity in invasive tumor cells. This is CAP guideline to call it as ER positive, and you have to have a normal control, that is include some normal breast parenchymal ducts in the same slide and to compare it with normal, and it is usually patchy in the duct. So normal control should be included. Coming to PR always follows ER. So again 1% nuclear, any intensity. This is also any intensity in invasive tumor cells. Okay. Now coming to KI index. KI 67 surrogate marker for mitosis, usually less than 14% in case of luminal A. Okay, and another point to mention, in PR it is usually overexpressed as compared to luminal B. So usually it is in most of the cases more than 20%. So ER again positive, PR can be positive or negative, but usually less than 20% of positivity. So it is expressed in low levels. So HER2 new can be positive or negative, but even if it is positive or negative, ER will take precedence and patient will receive tamoxifen. Okay. And KI index more than sorry, it's always more than 14%. So prognostic wise, luminal A is better than luminal B, and of course KI index, so they have a bad prognosis. Now coming to morphological subtypes. So what are the histological subtypes which fall under luminal A and luminal B? Luminal A, mind you, is most common. Around 30 to 40% of all breast carcinoma, that is invasive carcinoma, no special type, will show luminal A subtype, and 15 to 20% are luminal B. So what are the morphological subtypes? So invasive carcinoma, no special type, most common grade 1, well differentiated. Other subtypes which fall in this category are classical lobular and some mucinous carcinoma breast. And tubular, of course. So these are the morphological subtypes. So if for the postgraduate, if you see these three or four morphologies, it should fall in luminal A. So always when we diagnose breast carcinoma and we are giving a diagnosis, so follow up the patient and look for ER/PR report, and it should fall in luminal A. So usually invasive carcinoma, no special type, previously called as IDC. but now invasive carcinoma no special type. So usually grade 2 or grade 3. Okay. So these are usually high grade
Micropapillary.
and some variants of micropapillary. This also falls in luminal A. So again, give a diagnosis, look for ERPR report and follow up the patient. So we will come to know whether it falls in luminal A or luminal B, because this is now standard. ERPR Hartoni is standard. So try to see a patient falls in which category. Okay. Now coming to our third sub variety, that is HER2 new enriched. So overexpression of HER2 new. So HER2 new mind you is a membrane positivity because it's a membrane protein, and it membrane positivity again cutoff is 10%. So 10% full membrane bright positivity. Only then you will call it HER2 positive. So this is ISC. Again, if you can also go for fish. So there will be multiple copies of HER2 new. So as in luminal A or luminal B, the tumors which are ER positive, they receive tamoxifen. So everyone knows targeted therapy for HER2 new is available, trastuzumab. So this target therapy is available for HER2 new enriched subtype and usually has a bad prognosis as compared to luminal B or luminal A. Now coming to the most interesting category, that is basal-like breast carcinoma. So usually are triple negative. Okay. So I always like to make this diagram which has 4 components overlapping. Okay, so why these 4 components are overlapping? First one is, suppose this is triple negative. Triple negative means ER negative, PR negative, HER2 negative, and this is basal-like breast carcinoma. This is BRCA 1. This is medullary subtype. So there's always overlap. So not all triple negative are basal-like breast carcinoma. Not all basal-like breast carcinoma are BRCA positive, and not all medullary subtypes are BRCA positive, and and usually medullary subtype is shows basal-like breast carcinoma features. So this is overlap. So this is not hard and fast. They can be overlap. So coming to why we call it triple negative, ER negative, PR negative, and HER2 new negative. So basal-like. So for calling it basal-like, we use high molecular weight keratins, CK5/6, CK14, P63 can be used, and they are also EGFR positive. So if these come positive, we call them as basal-like breast carcinoma. Mind you, triple negative is, as I explained, is not synonymous with basal-like. Only if these markers are positive, we call it basal-like breast carcinoma. Again, EGFR therapy can be offered, cetuximab can be offered, as I explained in my previous lectures. Okay, now coming to, we call it basal-like now. So we have done high molecular weight keratins and we call it basal-like. So now what happens? What are the morphological subtypes on histological basis which fall in basal-like? So medullary carcinoma. Again, medullary carcinoma is a very confusing topic. So call it classical medullary breast carcinoma. More than 90% of the tumor should show you some characteristics. What are the characteristics? Syncytium, high grade nuclei, brisk mitosis, and before that they are well circumscribed, Cushing borders, and on gross also if you look, they are white, shiny, well circumscribed and usually less than 3 centimeter on gross. So white. Remember IDC usually, or if you refer on gross, is usually yellowish in color. This will be whitish in color. So syncytium, well circumscribed, pushing borders. Second, they have high lymphocyte infiltrate, plasma cells, which can be circumscribed or in between the tumor cells. So this subcategory, even if it falls in basal-like, has a good prognosis. Why? Because there is a theory that they say that the T cells or the plasma cells, they mount a response against the tumor. So this is the theory which is postulated for better prognosis of medullary carcinoma. Now coming to another topic which is related to this, BRCA. So BRCA is a tumor suppressor gene present on chromosome number 17. So again, BRCA is associated with medullary carcinoma. Not 100%, can be associated with medullary carcinoma. But BRCA can also be seen in ER positive invasive carcinoma of no special type. So don't be misled that BRCA can only be positive in medullary carcinoma. It can be positive in ER positive invasive carcinoma of no special. So any young patient less than 35 years having this morphology, you must suggest BRCA. Test for BRCA mutation, BRCA1 specifically. Now another topic I want to touch here is medullary carcinoma is not synonymous with carcinoma with carcinoma with medullary features. Okay, why this is important? Because therapy wise, if you label the patient as classical medullary carcinoma, the surgeon or the oncologist will do only surgery. No adjuvant therapy will be given. But if the features are less than 90% and you are not sure whether this is classical medullary and you give invasive carcinoma no special type with medullary features, so surgery plus adjuvant chemotherapy or whatever adjuvant chemotherapy the oncologist deems fit. So the treatment is very different. So when you are writing a report in as medullary carcinoma, it has very good prognosis. Only surgery will be given. If you are writing invasive carcinoma with medullary features, surgery plus adjuvant chemotherapy has a bad prognosis. So be very careful when you are writing a report, whether it's classical medullary or medullary features. And even if you are seeing a patient of ER positive invasive carcinoma no special type less than 35 years, you have to mention in your report that advise testing for BRCA1, because BRCA1 has implications. It can be familial, it can be sporadic. Ovarian cancers are very common in BRCA. So that is the importance of writing your BRCA1 comment in your report.
13.
Now coming to the other two categories, Claudin low. So Claudin again is a membranous marker between the cells, junction marker. So okay, so if Claudin usually cocktail is used for ISC. So there are many Claudin 1, 3, 4. There is a cocktail of ISC which is available. So Claudin is less expressed in certain breast tumors. So why this is important? This eases the tumor to go for epithelial to mesenchymal transition. So more metastasis, bad prognosis. So that is the importance of Claudin low subtype. Now lastly, our normal breast carcinoma like. So this is the one variety they found out on gene profiling. There are a lot of studies are still going on. They are not sure. They are saying that it was due to the some adipocytic expression of these tumors. So they got this subcategory. So just remember 5 categories: luminal A, luminal B, HER2-enriched, basal-like, and Claudin low. And prognostic wise, they go like this. So luminal A best prognosis, then it has a worse prognosis than A, HER2-neu, little worse than B, basal-like, and the worst will be Claudin low.